you guys, there was a couple of times we said the word disappointment in that last conversation. And I think for me, at least, I can speak disappointment. We get Mr. Ralph Bohner. Ralph Bohner. So
come on, that's funny. It's funny.
That looks like a photo from when he was starting acting.
I think it probably is.
It might be his real thing. Yeah.
It might be his real first headshot.
I think so. So Amanda, I know you're the number one fan of Mr. Ralph here, Mr. Ralph. Your thoughts on the reveal? Is it funny? Is it a Mandarin all over again? Is there hope that this is another version? Stick with me here with this one, Amanda. This is maybe Pietro, but he's Ralph in this universe, but he's like another doppelganger of I don't know. But Amanda, your thoughts on this reveal of Mr. Ralph Bohner?
I was so upset. You know how upset I was. We knew it was coming. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I didn't see that coming, to quote ATJ in Age of Ultron.
Was that your face? Well, hold on. I want to go back. Was that your face when you saw the reveal, by the way?
Yeah. Literally. I was like, you know what? It wasn't even like the reveal. It was him sitting there with the guitar. And I'm like, something's up. Something's weird. Something's going to happen. It felt so off. Personally, I don't know why. I know why they made this choice to like troll us. I completely get it. But even as a character in bringing him in, I feel like they kind of wasted Evan Peters in this role, because if he is going to come back like in the MCU and like he's not in other universes, you know what I mean? Like if this is the only time we're going to see him, I feel like he is wasted because he's such a great actor. I absolutely love him. So hopefully, as you said, that he is another version in another universe. I'm not hoping for anything anymore after the show. I swear to God, like I'm done. I don't care. I'm really happy with what we got. But I personally think that he was like a punchline. And I would have rather have had Aaron Taylor Johnson as Pietro come back if we're simply looking at character development for Wanda and how emotionally effective her bond with her brother was. I think that would have kind of knocked it right in the feels a bit more than what we got, because it was always like, I feel like they used him as like joke. Like he's funny, he's cool, he's energetic, he's like cool Uncle Pietro. Like I fell in love with him for that. It's just the fact that it just missed a couple of beats as the second half of the series went on, and you rarely saw him after the Spooktacular episode too. So I'm heartbroken. And the last name, it was just, it was so unnecessary, because it was such a heavy episode. And then it's like punchline, Ralph Bohner, haha, joke. And then he like,
it felt like typical MCU humor where it didn't need to fit whatsoever. I
like I was just like that he laughed at it.
Laughing at your own jokes is always great.
Yeah, it's like, you got it, man. And then it was just also weird because he was Ralph this whole time. Like he was Ralph. The whole time.
He was Ralph. Where's that song? We need
At least they answered who's Ralph.
Yeah, they answered something. So that's fair. But like, my heart's broken. I love Evan Peters. He's my boy. And I really hope that he does come back as actual Quicksilver. So we'll see.
I'm trying to find the quote, but tossing it to you, Chris. But there was a quote that I saw. It was the showrunner. She had mentioned that Kevin Feige, when he wanted to bring in Evan Peters, it was meant to be purposeful. That's why I am hoping that it is. I'm trying to find the quote somewhere on Twitter that there's a reason why they, not just because it is like, oh, he's a Quicksilver in another world, but I think there is something about that character. At least I'm hoping. I wish I could find the quote, but just tossing it to you, Chris. Your thoughts on Mr. Ralph Bohner, and were you kind of bummed that it wasn't an X-Men character of another multiverse?
Yeah, it was nonsense. It was the worst part of the whole episode. I don't know why.
The whole show.
I always say like, Marvel, don't let me down, and they let me down. So it's not. Yeah, I didn't care. Like, of course, I wanted him to be an X-Men, but like when I found out that Agatha did this, I was like, all right, cool, he's not an X-Men, no problem.
Yeah. But
then like why not just say like Agatha just like trolled us by saying, okay, like maybe that's a scroll, like maybe like have that at that angle, like just make it make more sense. Like, I know maybe if he's a scroll, then maybe he doesn't have the super speed, but like just like, you don't like this fucking acting thing with the like this, it's nonsense. It's like, this is the finale, like there's nothing else after this, like this is how you left us. Like maybe if there was an episode 10 and you could watch, like people will forget about that, but this is the end. Like this, every minute we're staring at the screen, taking everything in, and this is what you wanted to leave us with. So I was like, not it. Like next.
Zach, I'm not to assume, but I assume when you mentioned earlier there was one thing you didn't like about it. It was just that one thing, Mr. Zach.
Yeah. First off, we're allowed to cuss, right?
Go right ahead, man.
I felt like I literally got fucked. Like I literally felt like I felt like Mephisto came up to me and slapped me in the face. Like, have you guys seen This Is the End? Like, has everyone seen this? That scene of Jonah Hill laying in the bed and the devil comes on top of him.
Yeah.
That's what I felt at fucking midnight or 1 o'clock my time. I felt just like
I feel bad for you, man. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay.
So I was really mad. So I sat there and I'm like, here we go, baby. Like, oh. I didn't laugh at all. Like, I was point blank pissed. And then, some cool things came about afterwards. So I was like, okay, I'll try and forget it. But I literally texted my friend and I said, I'm so fucking mad right because now I owe him money. Because we had this whole bet. He goes, there's no way they're doing Quicksilver. I told him Magneto was going to... This is why, again, I'm never theorizing again. But I think us as fans, it's okay for us to be mad at this because you say this ties into Spider-Man, the next one. You say this ties into the Doctor Strange 2 next. Mm-hmm. Well, what's Doctor Strange 2 called? Multiverse of Madness. So what are we to assume? So it's our assumptions are what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But why bring Evan Peters in? Yeah. Like, it really felt like a big fuck you. And I get it. They didn't mean that. But they said, like, in one of the interviews, they're like, yeah, we thought about it early on that we were going to bring him in. It's like, I get you're trying to be meta. Yeah. But, like you said with the Skrulls, could have had, hey, Agnes took over a Skrull, made the Skrull turn into Aaron Taylor Johnson or any other actor of that caliber just said, this is your new Quicksilver. Okay, we would have all been for that. We would have all been for that. Would have been like, okay, this is a little weird, but let's see. And that, it just, I don't see them retconning this. I don't see them doing anything of this. I think it's more of, hey, I know you all think that maybe we will see the X-Men from that universe again, but probably not. You never will. I think Deadpool is the only safe character, which I've been saying. I have a whole rant on that, especially with if you don't bring back Vanessa, Domino, all that, I don't know how to feel. That's a whole different discussion. I just feel really I really felt like I got smacked in the face with this. It's the one thing that I didn't feel good on. And I don't even think it's the Mandarin one, because the Mandarin I actually didn't mind. I was sad that the Mandarin didn't show up, but I'm like, at least I can believe this, and at least I can say, hey, the Mandarin's going to eventually come, probably.
Come on, yeah.
Which now he is, so it's just like with this, it's like, so what, I'm never going to get another Quicksilver again?
Yeah.
Never, ever. And I know Aaron Taylor Johnson, there's been interviews where he's like wishy-washy on coming back or not.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And I've always believed, from my understandings, I don't think he was supposed to die in Age of Ultron, to be honest with you guys. I think he was Hawkeye.
It was a creative differences, so to speak, is what I've seen.
Okay. So I don't know. I think there was a lot more you could have done with that. Yeah. Even if he is that one, and that's the one character you bring back from the X-Men, at least it says, hey, this is our world. It's just, again, weird hearing everything we've heard about Spider-Man. And maybe if I didn't know anything about Spider-Man, about that Doc Ock and Electro coming back, maybe I wouldn't be so weird about this, but I kind of feel like I am. And again, I feel like I got fucked. Like, I literally feel like Marvel was like, you're a fan of that guy. But it's just a waste. Evan Peters is an excellent actor. You could have literally put him in any other role then. Like, I would have killed for him to play a dark, like freaking a vampire or the werewolves and stuff if they're going the Blade and Moon Knight route. So, I don't know. There's so many different routes you could have done with the character, and I just felt like it was stupid.
I'll say this, in Kevin Feige, I trust. I still think that there is a hope for that character, because I still can't find the quote, but there was a quote that the creator of the show said that when they brought him in, there was a reason why they did that. Besides, obviously, the stunt cast and the fan service, I think there is to be something to be said about the character. I thought creatively. Go ahead, Sharonda.
You fully trusted Kevin Feige, the person who didn't want Black Panther, who had to be convinced by Nate and then the Russo brothers to even add Black Panther into Civil War, the best part of Civil War.
True.
I mean, I trusted his overall vision, but I'm just saying, Black Panther almost never happened.
Which So I actually never knew that till you just said that. That's insane to me,
It was
because
amazing.
Black Panther is a hero that honestly could have came from the beginning and would have still been as big as it was when it came out. Because Black
100%.
Panther is like my 4th favorite Marvel film of all time. I adore that film to pieces. I love the character. I just that's insane to me. But I'm with you, man. Like I usually say trust Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening with the Spider-Man film, I usually would be worried since it's Sony, but trust in Kevin Feige. So I'll believe it when I see it, though, because Paul Bettany already screwed with all of us. So
yeah, he did. But Tessa, I guess this is your take on the whole, the Marvel handling Quicksilver. It seems like, Quicksilver in Age of Ultron was to set up Wanda's storyline to kill him off there. And then we have this joke, this punchline of a Quicksilver. I don't know if Marvel just doesn't like Quicksilver and they just think he's a punch, which in the comic, he is kind of a, has some comedic beats, but there's also a very serious character at times too. But your take on Mr. Ralph Bohner and the reveal that he was just Ralph and just lived. I don't know if he was Jimmy Woo's protection agent person, the beekeeper, maybe even. I don't know. But go.
I know I'm in the minority in this everywhere. And I don't even care. First of all, love Evan Peters. I don't care what he does. He could read the phone book, and I'd be like, he's a great character. I love him.
The Malcolm in the Middle episode, amazing.
Uncle Pietro.
Yeah. Oh, he's just incredible. But so I had read stuff about Aaron Taylor Johnson that he was very vocal about like not being happy way back, Age of Ultron stuff. So if they're going to bring someone in that's not going to be him, because maybe creative differences, maybe him and Kevin or someone else don't get along, who are they going to bring in that every single person watching is going to go, oh, okay, it's Quicksilver, and you don't have to convince them? It has to be Evan Peters. Any other character they bring in and they say, oh, this is Quicksilver, you're not going to believe it. You can sit here all day and say, oh, yeah, I believe it. You wouldn't. Who did everyone immediately think? Oh, we immediately believed it. We're like, oh, it's the multiverse. Look, it's actually Pietro. It's actually Quicksilver. So I get why they had to do it. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm a teenage boy because I laughed hysterically at the Bohner joke. Like, I had to go back because, like, the second time I watched it, and I was cracking up. Especially, he's like, Bohner. I was like, so stupid, but it's so fun. I don't know. I cracked up at it. I hope he comes back. I mean, technically, he's an out-of-work actor. We may see him appear. Who knows? Maybe he'll be... I don't know. Maybe he really had those powers and all Agatha did that necklace. Maybe it was just under her control. Maybe he somehow has powers. I don't know. I hope we see him again. But I think I wasn't as upset as many people are about him. I thought it was funny, and I was glad we got Evan Peters. Even if that's all we'll get him for, I was happy to see him.
Hey, I love it. Sharonda, your thoughts on Mr. Ralph Bohner and just kind of let down by the reveal? Or it was just like, you know what? It is what it is.
I mean, I had given up on the theory, so I was fine. I was just like, figures. But I actually agree. I mean, I think that this is Kevin's way of saying, hey, we're open to using,
other
some
actors.
of the actors from the other properties. Like, I'm open to it. And I think with him seeing how everyone reacted to him not being Quicksilver, I mean, who would say that Evan won't show up again or that other characters that people absolutely adore will show up. But I think the biggest problem that I haven't heard anyone say is you have Monica dodging bullets, okay? You have
that was the next point. Oh yeah, that was the yep.
Powers. You mean to tell me that you didn't have Monica outrun Quicksilver to make a break for it? She's faster than Quicksilver.
Speed of light, yeah.
Why did we not do that? Like I thought that's what we were doing, and then when she like randomly like jogged as if Quicksilver isn't fast, I was always confused and perplexed. So I just
that felt like a COVID thing. That felt like a COVID,
like a reshoot type of situation.
Yeah. She could just speed past them. Like, you didn't even need her to do anything. You could have totally added effects for that. But I was just like, girl, you sitting up here dodging bullets. Why you couldn't just outrun Quicksilver to make a break for it?
That's a great point, Sharon. And that was actually the next point I was going to dive into, because